I live in a place where it gets cold and ugly in the winter, where everything dies and turns brown. The way to brighten up your winter is to make an amazing plant habitat that will make your home even cozier. For this project, you will need plants that can be real or fake. I'm using fake. You also need rocks, which you only really need one size. And you also need at least two different sizes of clay. You also need topsoil of different sizes, but you only really need 2. Gravel is also necessary whenever you want to have water inside of a habitat. Plastic wrap's also important if you want to keep the water inside your habitat. You will also need a container, and it doesn't matter what size or shape you use, but I suggest a clear one. The next material you need is moss, which you can most likely find at your local Walmart. If you want to decorate and customize your build more, you're going to need paper and pencils. This build should take from between 45 minutes to an hour. For this project, you'll need to be good at following direction. If you do, it'll look somewhat like this when you're done. These are a few habitats I made, which look amazing. The first one I made with simple trees and forest in the back. The second one I made with a nice little lake surrounded by plants. Before trying anything too advanced, let's learn the basic steps that were used. The first thing you have to do is get your materials I listed earlier, especially the container, plants, rocks, soil, clay, and plastic wrap. After you've obtained all the necessary materials, we can start. The first thing you have to do is get all the materials from earlier accessible, and I find it helpful to keep everything organized. This is what a clean workplace looks like versus a messy one. The next step is to get some rocks of decent size, around the size of your ring finger, and you will pour the rocks and try to get 1/2 an inch of rocks. The next step is to start filling in your large clay, which will add some nice color to the habitat and make it look even more realistic. The clay layer is the smaller layer, so only fill your container up around 1/2 of an inch. I suggest making some areas taller than other areas, which will make it look even more natural and blend even better. The next step is to get your fine clay, and you only need like a finger thick of it, which is sufficient to make it blend better. The next step is to get your piece of plastic wrap and cut it to a piece around this size. You will press it down to the shape you want your lake to be. After you have your plastic wrap down in the shape you want it, you're going to grab your big soil and pour it around it. You want to be very careful when you're doing it so you don't pour dirt into the lake. After that, you just want to keep filling in the container so there's about 1 inch of topsoil. Next step is the last part involving soil. You need to pour it around the lake, but you want to make sure it doesn't fill in the lake. And you need to top it off to the top, and if you want a difference in elevation, then you have to add like little piles and different variations in it. Now all the different dirt layers are finished, but the lake isn't done. Grab the gravel you prepared earlier and fill in the bottom of the lake, so there's about a 1/4 inch of gravel on the bottom. This will keep the plastic wrap from coming off. The extra wrap you'll tuck into the dirt, and you may need to scoop out a little dirt first. You'll fill in the divot, smooth it out, then finally you'll pour in your water. The habitat is already looking really cool, but the top is so plain. You will add some moss by spreading it out on the habitat. After the moss has covered the soil, you will get your plants, which can be real or fake, and you will push them into the soil. You can be creative at this point and add plants wherever you want to make it look full and awesome. The last step is to color a sky with clouds and stuff. After that, you will place your picture behind the habitat, which will make it look even more amazing. Now you guys know how to make this little piece of nature. I have shown you how to make a plant habitat like this. You can always take the steps from this video and get creative and make your own creation. These habitats are a perfect way to liven up your winter. Thank you for watching this video. Go take ideas from it and build your own amazing habitat.